All right, I have one of the cheapest smart bulbs on the market versus one of the most expensive smart bulbs on the market. Let the fun begin. Welcome back, guys. My name is Eric and you're watching ModernDayTech, where I like to do product reviews and sometimes how-dos on anything that can help you and your family out. So I do want to disclose that Wyze did send these bulbs out to me for an honest review, and I also bought a pack of my own. The Phillips Hue bulbs I did purchase with my own money. Now it's going to be very hard to compare. Phillips Hue has been around for a very long time. Wyze just came out with their smart bulbs, so Phillips Hue kind of has a unfair advantage. They also have a lot of different bulbs on the market, so it's hard to compare bulbs since there's so many different ones for Phillips Hue. So what I did, to be fair, is try to get the closest bulb possible to the Wyze bulb, which is a white ambient. Unfortunately, Wyze does not have RGB, does not have the color bulbs, so I did not pick up one of Phillips Hue's color bulbs. So we're going to compare the white ambient to the Wyze bulb and have some fun with Alexa and Google and see what each bulb can do. Now both these bulbs are pretty identical. Tops of them are a little bit different in shape, but they both are plastic tops. Where the difference is in their weight. The Wyze bulb is almost 60% heavier than the Phillips Hue's, which comes in at 80 grams, where the Wyze bulb comes in at 135 grams. Now weight is not a huge issue in most cases, but I do want to make you aware of the weight. And both of these bulbs give you a warning not to install these in a damp or wet location, and also do not install these in a enclosed fixture due to the heat. Now it's not going to catch on fire or anything, but because of the heat it does deteriorate the life of the bulb, so they do give you that warning. But I know people are going to do it anyways, so I'm just going to do a test later to see if one gets hotter than the other, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now let's go into some specs, where the Phillips Hue bulb comes in at 800 lumens at 10 watts, and it has a temperature rating of 2200 Kelvin all the way up to 6500 Kelvin, compared to the Wyze bulb, which is also 800 lumens at 9.5 watts, but comes in at a color temperature of 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. Also, one is Wi-Fi, the other one is Zigbee, which means that you need a hub. I bought this kit, a pack of 4, on Amazon on Prime Day. It came with the hub and everything that you needed. I think this was $101 for the entire kit, compared to a Wyze bulb where you get a pack of 4 Wi-Fi bulbs for about $29.99, 30 bucks plus shipping, so about $40, so less than $10 a bulb. Now you do need a hub with the Zigbee lights, or the Hue lights, I mean. They also now sell a model that's Bluetooth and Zigbee. I don't think Bluetooth is a reliable source for smart home because of the distance, and most of the time you're not going to be within 30 feet. And when it comes to the apps, Phillips Hue blows Wyze out of the water. There's so many features that are built into it. I'm not even going to get in detail. I'll eventually do a video on the Phillips Hue bulbs if you guys want to check that out. But it communicates with so many other programs also. It works with SmartThings and also HomeKit, which is a huge deal to me personally. So I would like to see Wyze eventually work with SmartThings and HomeKit, but until then, I just gotta suffer with Alexa and IFTTT. Philips also has a lot of accessories, whereas the Wyze just has a couple. They have their cameras and also their WYZE Sense, which is their door sensor and also their motion sensor. Now, it's pretty cheap to buy with the Wyze. I think the WYZE Sense was like 20 bucks for a set of 4, whereas the Philips, each accessory is sold separately for a pretty penny. Here are both bulbs on at 6500 Kelvin. Here's the Phillips Hue at 6500 Kelvin and the Wyze at 6500 Kelvin 100%. And now both at 3000 Kelvin 100%. Here's just the Wyze and here is just the Phillips Hue. And now we're going to take both bulbs down to their lowest temperatures, where the WYZE comes in at 2700 Kelvin and the Phillips Hue at 2200. All right, let's have some fun. Let's see if you can figure out which bulb is which. I'm going to install one bulb on one side of the bed and another on the other side of the bed, and not tell you which one's which just yet. At the same time, we're going to have some fun with Google and Lady A. Turn the master bedroom lights to 6800 Kelvin.
Okay, changing 2 lights to 6500 kelvins.
Okay, Google. Turn the master bedroom lights to 100%.
You got it. Setting 2 lights brightness to 100%.
Okay. So, as you can see, they are both at 6500 Kelvin at 100%. Can you tell the difference? Okay, Google. Turn the master bedroom lights to 3000 Kelvin.
Okay, changing 2 lights to 3000 kelvins.
All right. Again, this one's a little bit brighter, but they're pretty much the exact same color. Turn the master bedroom lights to 6000 Kelvin.
Sure, changing 2 lights to 6000 kelvins.
And they pretty much both change at the exact same time. Now, in my testing, I was testing with Alexa, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that delay. Alexa, turn off the nightstands. Okay, so you see the delay there. Turn on the nightstands. All right, so there's definitely a delay. I don't know why that is. It's only really happening with Alexa. When I do it with Google, it seems to be just about the exact same timing. So if you haven't already figured it out, this, of course, is the Phillips Hue bulb, and this is the WYZE bulb. Now, within the Alexa app, I did notice there's 5 preset names for these specific Kelvins colors, or these temperature colors. So there's white warm, soft warm, white, daylight, and cool white. So before I installed the Phillips Hue bulb, which actually has a lower Kelvin rating, I forget the actual number, I think it's 2200, that one's 2700, don't quote me on that, I don't remember. So when I command Alexa to do a warm white, they both change, but she goes all the way down. The Phillips Hue bulb goes all the way down to the lowest setting. So let's go ahead and show you that. Turn the nightstands to warm white. So you can see delay there also, but you can see the Phillips Hue bulb actually gets a lot warmer, a lot more orange. And then with the actual WYZE bulb, when you go into the Alexa app, even though you tried to select warm white, it will change back to soft white. So it will no longer go down to warm white when you have them in the same group. I will try to separate them and see what happens. I know yesterday when I just had the WYZE bulbs, that warm white did work. Of course, it didn't go down that far. This is the furthest it went down, but there was another setting for soft white. So I don't know if there's some adjustments because of the 2 different bulbs, 2 different Kelvin ratings. I just don't know, but be aware. Of course, there's a huge difference in the lowest Kelvin rating in the huge bulbs compared to the WYZE bulbs. The Google Assistant also has these presets. Of course, most of the wording is totally different. Let me show you that. Set the master bedroom lights to ivory.
Okay, changing 2 lights to ivory.
Set the master bedroom lights to candlelight.
Okay, changing 2 lights to candlelight.
So there is a slight delay now. And then one thing I noticed also between Alexa and Google is that for some reason Alexa, you can't set the Kelvin rating just yet. It gives you an error every single time. This is actually happens This actually happens with other bulbs too. So it's something with Alexa. They have to use the actual wording instead of the Kelvin rating. I would say the coloring and the brightness are just about the same. Of course, the Phillips Hue bulb can go to a warmer light just because it has a lower Kelvin rating. But otherwise, they're pretty identical. Let's go ahead and go to the next test, which is going to be the sound test. A lot of bulbs or LED bulbs or smart bulbs actually make a humming sound depending on the level of brightness. Some of the cheaper brands, when you have it really bright, they start humming, and some other brands, when you have it down really low, it starts humming. So what I'm going to do is get a microphone on each bulb and see if each one makes a sound. So not to bore you or waste your time, I'm just going to summarize that neither bulb had a sound at any temperature, color, or at any brightness. So my next test, I want to test some of the automation. Now I'm not going to try to use a third-party app, either IFTT or Google or Lady A, but I just want to see what would happen if I triggered, say, the WYZE Sense motion sensor with the WYZE bulb, and then also do that exact same thing with a Phillips Hue sensor and trigger a Phillips Hue bulb. I just want to see if there's a one's faster than the other and see what happens. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, I got everything all set up. Both of the motion sensors are right here. I do believe that the WYZE picks up heat motion, and the other one is like the pixel motion, so there might be a difference there. Of course, there is also the ambience or the light sensor in the Hue's one, so of course that's more advanced. But right now I'm just going to trigger the automation just to see if one's faster than the other and see what happens. So here we go. I'm going to pick them both up. Okay. So you can see there the Hue's is definitely faster. And now we're going to stop the motion for 1 minute and see which one turns off first. Really doesn't matter, and we're just going to test it once again. Okay, and they're both off. So let's go ahead and try this once again just to see if we get the same results. Ready? Go. So once again, they both came on pretty fast, but the Hue's light bulb did come on first. All right, let's go ahead and touch the Hue. Top is not hot, but the sides down towards the base is definitely hot. I cannot keep my hand on it. And let's try the WYZE. So the same thing, the top is not hot. I can keep my hand on it. And the base is a little bit hotter than the Hue. And that is why both manufacturers recommend their bulbs not being installed in fully enclosed fixtures. Apparently the heat that builds up will destroy or deteriorate the bulbs much faster. Now you might be asking me, which bulb should you pick up? Of course, obviously, if you need to save costs, WYZE is the wise choice. If you need RGB, go for the Phillips Hue. They do have the RGB version. But otherwise, I say go for the WYZE. They're definitely brighter. You definitely save a lot of cost. And when you're just comparing white ambient lights to white ambient lights, there's really no need to spend that additional funds for the Phillips Hue. You're really just buying the brand. Now, of course, you might say there's a lot of additional features in the app, and that is true. You also have all the accessories, so if you do need those, definitely go for the Phillips Hue. You can't go wrong with either brand, but personally I like the WYZE. I like saving my money. There's enough resources out there in the WYZE app or in Alexa or in Google Home that you can automate things as you really need. Now, I do wish that WYZE would work with smart things. Unfortunately, they still do not. It does work with IFTTT, and as I mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of IFTTT. They're just too slow going through all the servers and everything. You just can't automate that way. It's just way too slow. So I definitely think that WYZE is a wise choice, and Phillips Hue is definitely also a wise choice if you want to spend that amount of money. If you guys want to check out the full review of the WYZE bulb, check out the playlist right there. I hope you would consider subscribing by pressing that blue circle right there. I will see you guys next week.